Police say all the evidence that was found in the apartment today was a clear indication that the shooting suspect knew exactly what he was getting into. From afar, all that can be seen are the burnt pieces of what used to be an apartment. But what was found inside shocked everyone nearby.
It's just scary to know that the whole time we were here, he was there with all of that stuff.
A body armor, an assault rifle, several guns, ammunition, a gas mask, and police radio. All that found right next to the charred body that police believe is the suspect.
We firmly believe that he was preparing himself for an armed confrontation with police.
This all began Thursday after Stanislaus Deputy Robert Paris and locksmith Glendon Engert tried to evict the suspect, which led to the fatal shooting of Paris and Engert. And then later that night, the apartment caught fire and burned to the ground. ATF, Modesto Police, and FBI spent the entire Saturday sifting through the apartment, and they say the investigation has only just begun.
It will be a portion of our investigation to determine how he came into possession of these items.
Those who live in the area say they had no idea what was hidden behind their neighbor's closed door.
He would only come in at night, making sure it looked like he had maybe double locks on his screen door. When he would leave, he always checked those.
That's what's really scary about all this, is because you just don't know who your neighbors are.
Now, authorities will not release the name of the body until it is confirmed through DNA, which police say could take weeks. Prison officials say 5 guards were on duty when the inmate likely climbed out of the window, walked away, and then headed down the road.
And he kind of cuts through the cars right there and then continues up. And it sounds like his pocket's full of change or something. I'm like, that's weird. His head shaved, and I don't think much of it. And then you start hearing the helicopter going around and around and around.
Helicopters patrolling the area tirelessly since a new Folsom prison inmate walked away late last night.
Due to the lack of the secure perimeter, I mean, that's why we call it a walkaway. I mean, it happens, I don't want to say very often here, but I know at fire camps and places like that, it's not uncommon for this to happen.
Marco Cabrera, a repeat felon who was serving a 5-year sentence for assault with a firearm and drug-related charges, simply walked away from the prison. But it doesn't seem to shock too many people.
But that can happen. And we're not that far from the prison, so.
It could happen any place, so you never know.
Folsom police say a man who fits Cabrera's description tried to steal a car at an apartment complex down the road, but ran off when neighbors stopped him.
My boyfriend and I were walking our dogs, and we were told that it wasn't safe and we should go back inside.
Some residents say they live in a pretty quiet neighborhood, and today's encounter with an escaped inmate doesn't really faze them.
All you can do is you just pray for the best and not worry about it.
But others say with the escapee still on the run, they are more cautious with their surroundings.
Definitely making sure my doors are locked. But other than that, and our cars are in the garage and stuff. But I think they'll catch him, hopefully.
Authorities are continuing the search for Cabrera from Sacramento to his native Tulare County. Authorities believe the suspect who robbed the Bellagio of $1.5 million this morning is the same suspect who robbed the Suncoast Casino poker room just last week.
He parked, he walked in, he committed the robbery, and he left.
That's exactly what the surveillance video shows of this man, who was wanted for running off with $1.5 million worth in casino chips.
The suspect arrived on a motorcycle and parked just outside the North Valet, and the suspect was also wearing a full-faced motorcycle helmet. He then entered the casino and went directly to a craps table where he confronted several patrons with a firearm.
People were already kind of suspicious on who he was because he was walking through a casino hotel with a helmet on, and who does that?
That's when authorities say it took him no more than 3 minutes to swipe the craps table clean of casino chips before jumping right back on his motorcycle and leaving the scene without a hassle. But authorities believe they've seen this man before.
This is believed to be the same suspect that robbed the Las Vegas Suncoast Casino poker room on December 9th, 2010 at approximately 12:30 a.m. by similar means. In this event, he was also operating on a sport bike motorcycle.
But those who work in the gaming industry say the suspect won't get very far with those casino chips, since most of them can easily be traced.
Most of them have RFID, which is radio frequency identification tags on them, so that you know whether or not what chips were stolen. They all have a unique ID to them, so if you go to redeem them, they're going to know that was a stolen chip.
Which means whoever dares to walk in the casino property trying to cash in on the millions of dollars worth in chips may not get very far.
The little tag or the microchip that's embedded into these chips are very trackable, and the radio frequencies that are attached to them gives us the opportunity to scan and identify when that chip is around or on property.
Now, Metro described the man as a white male, about 5'10" in height and weighs about 220 pounds. He was last seen wearing a white motorcycle helmet. The motorcycle he was driving is described as a 2009 or 2010 black sports bike. If you have any information, you're asked to contact Crime Stoppers. They said it all happened around 3 a.m. when that gas tanker made a right hard turn on the 15 going southbound near Lake Mead, rolled over and exploded. Now, as you can see, cleanup crews are working on the huge mess this explosion caused. Earlier, when we arrived on scene, you could see thick, heavy black smoke from miles away. Now, the truck was engulfed in flames, and we talked to some people who were in the area just moments after it all happened.
I was watching TV, and when I watched in stereo, so I got 4 speakers going, and I heard this thing through my speakers.
Oh, 4 or 5. It's loud. It's pretty scary, man. I was scared. I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was maybe a terrorist attack or something.
Now, the truck had 9,100 gallons of fuel in it, and the driver, believe it or not, walked away unharmed. Now, they are letting traffic go through on 15 northbound, but 15 southbound is still closed. As you can see, 15 northbound traffic is moving pretty smoothly here, but southbound, they say you can expect it to be closed for quite some time as they continue to clean up the mess they left behind. Reporting live, Diane Tuazon, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas. With a home in flames and security bars tightened throughout all the doors and windows of the home you see behind me, fire crews struggled to get the man who lived inside. Now, we're told the fire started around midnight. When fire crews arrived on scene, they immediately tried to rescue the 80-year-old victim who was stuck inside. Firefighters say the toughest challenge was getting through the door and window bars. It took them about 9 minutes to get to the victim. Hey, good morning, Diane.
You okay in there?
Yeah, good morning, guys. I'm a little claustrophobic, so I don't even know why I sat in this machinery to begin with. But anyways, if you've been anywhere near the convention, we're told the victim was on his way to this Wells Fargo bank behind me when he was approached by a gunman that shot at him several times, and the person responsible is still on the run.